The day Grace sold her wedding ring, the whole village laughed.
They called her foolish, but they didn't know the sacrifice she was about to make. 20 years later, the same people stood speechless. But to understand that moment, we must go back 20 years. Grace earned a living sewing beautiful clothes for women in her community. Samuel believed one day her designs would be known across Nigeria.
But happiness can disappear in a single moment.
Samuel never came home. She made a promise that day. She had no idea that keeping that promise would cost her everything. Months passed. Grace buried her grief and poured all her strength into raising Daniel. Although life was difficult, Daniel remained the light that kept his mother going. As the hours passed, Daniel's condition became worse.
The next morning, Grace rushed to seek help.
Can you help me? She searched everywhere for help, but every door seemed to close.
That evening, she returned home with only one thing left to give.
With tears in her eyes, she made the hardest decision of her life. The sacrifice gave Daniel another chance at life. From that day on, Grace worked harder than ever, sewing not just clothes, but her son's future. Day after day, Grace worked tirelessly, believing that every stitch she made was another step toward her son's future. Some nights she worked until sunrise, refusing to let hardship steal her son's dreams. Years passed, and Grace's sacrifices quietly began to bear fruit. Daniel had earned a scholarship that would change his life forever. The day finally came. Came for Daniel to begin a new journey. She watched the road long after he had gone, praying that one day he would return. The years came and went, but Grace never stopped believing. People whispered that her son had forgotten her. But every evening, she waited with the same quiet hope. Then, one ordinary afternoon, everything changed.
The black SUV rolled to a gentle stop in front of Grace's modest home.
A well-dressed young man stepped out, carrying a small velvet box. Grace stepped outside, and time seemed to stand still. Then she recognized the face she had prayed for every single day. Daniel had finally come home. He opened the velvet box. The symbol of her sacrifice had found its way back to her. But Daniel's greatest gift was still waiting. One mother's sacrifice would now inspire generations. Some sacrifices are never forgotten. They become the foundation of someone else's future. If this story touched your heart, remember to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who believes in the power of a mother's love.